Hey, yo, it's Cash on the Hood. I love you guys. We just stopped talking midstream and just had Brian just turn it on. So I'm here again with TJ, Colin, and Steven. And Brian behind the decks has got his Cinema Psycho podcast, and he works for Lipson, and he does the live video editing, which I was showing you here at Studio Me. Steven's got his Revved Up Garage Cast. And before we get into how we're monetizing our social media efforts, I need y'all to please like and subscribe. All right? Without you, we ain't shit. So Steven was saying he's making like $500, right?
Yeah, like $488 off Facebook Reels.
And Colin's like, I only made $7.
Yeah, I don't make shit on
That's
Facebook.
insane.
I don't make shit on Facebook.
Isn't that crazy how that works?
See,
Like,
you make good money off TikTok?
So the main like actual monetization that TikTok has is like their creator fund, which when it started was great. It was like $5,000 a month.
Yeah, mine's
$4,000.
so low that like I didn't even finish registering all of it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's because it dropped so much because now the pool of creators is so much more saturated than it used to be. Mm-hmm. So like now I'm only making, a few hundred on creator fund or 1,000 or something like that, which is like not enough to pay the bills. But then you add in YouTube, which is, a couple hundred, you add in Instagram, a few hundred. And then I do my biggest form of income is affiliate marketing. So I'll find a, game that's trying to run promotion or whatever. And they'll be like, we'll give you $5 every time someone downloads it. I made $100,000 doing that last year.
can't beat that.
jackpot. Yeah.
Sign me up.
Hustling games. You know what I mean? I could be hustling crack instead I'm hustling.
TJ's been trying to
apps.
hustle C4 for years.
That's what he was just telling me.
I'm telling you, C4 Energy, you gotta get on board. Listen, listen, you gotta get on board with what the Deadman's doing because
He says he limits himself to one a day, but I see him with him more than that.
listen, I drink a C4 every single morning. Mm-hmm. I'm down 22 pounds from using Cellucor and C4 products. So wouldn't you want somebody that's pushing your product to be a real user and real advocate for your product, right?
I mean, at this point, at least if they just gave you a discount.
I mean, at least send me a couple free drinks. I mean, holy cow. But, like, we just have so much to offer something like that. And it's hard for me to get out there and find that because, I mean, how many messages do they get inquiring for something? Mm. And when you hear the word Demolition Derby, which is my hustle, like, they're like, oh, what's C4 going to do in that redneck sport? But they don't realize how much of a national level professional thing that we are and can be.
Speaking on that, I just saw Clutch got turned down again for Mountain Dew Pepsi. I see that he said he sends it in every year and gets rejected every year, but he's not going to give up.
I would love a rejection letter just to say you read it and no, we can't do this.
Yeah, Clutch gets a rejection letter every year from Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I tried to become an ambassador for C4 and like, I mean, it's so hard because unless you have a perfect body, unless you're a female, I mean, like it's so much easier. It's hard for a male to do that because I mean, let's face it, we're not rocking the men's fitness magazine.
I mean, you sold it pretty good. You sold it as like weight loss and stuff. Like I perked up when I heard that.
Well,
but, maybe it's time to see somebody else if she's not answering your text.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
It's funny, right? Because like I hadn't heard of C4 before. But C4 used to be my nickname in high school, right? Because I had a bomb threat that I got expelled for. I mean, that's interesting.
You can't make that up.
There you go.
Well, they do have a flavor called frozen bombsicle.
Really?
So there you go.
Yeah, that's right down my alley.
No, seriously, like, and it's funny because if C4 could see all the people that post on social media now and message me privately and be like, holy cow, dude, like, I didn't even know C4 was a thing. I tasted it. And you were right. This is amazing. I need to know more flavors. So then I'm sending, okay, you got to try this flavor because of this. You got to try this because of this.
Right.
And they're like, oh my gosh, these are amazing. These are so incredible. And I'm like, man, come on, guys. I'm doing it for you already for free.
There you go.
Right.
I mean, are
Let's
you
talk.
compiling all that and making one video on YouTube or something? Is
No,
like
I
your
just kinda-
sizzle reel.
I just try to do as many reels like you guys are talking about, like the Facebook. And I've been so frustrated with Steven because once I found out that he's making money on Facebook, I'm like, I'm doing this, right? And then you get the whole, you have to have 100,000 in 30 days. And I told Kayla, I was like, I'm going to get 200,000 in 30 days. And she's like, yeah, right. Who's going to watch your videos? I start, and in 3.5 days, I've got 100,000. And I'm like, all right, here we go. And I'm like, waiting for it. And finally I get that you're approved. Go ahead and apply. So I've applied. Okay. then I'm like, let's keep putting some videos out and see what we get. I got around just under 800,000 in 30 days, and that was me not trying for the last 20 days.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, they've got to see this. Then they send me, you can get ads on Reels, you can get in-stream ads and all this stuff. But I go to Meta, my TJ McCullough is not in my Meta. I can only post on all my stupid pages I added 10 years ago that don't exist anymore, and my Deadman. Well, the Deadman's not the page that I have the followers on.
Right.
And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to monetize me if I can't use me to monetize?
They want you to transition to this business page.
I'm fine with doing that, but when I've applied for that, I haven't gotten approved for that. Because that one actually has 10,000 or 11,000 followers. It has more followers than I do. I'm fine with being Deadman. I don't care. Like, if you wanted to just be C4 and not Colin, I mean, that's cool. Whatever you want to be, right? I mean,
That's
like
the
the
previous.
army.
I'm sure you'd blow
No more
up. I mean,
C4.
I love it.
That's funny.
really ignite that Facebook.
No, what?
So
Like, what's
TJ's
your
calling
numbers a
me
day?
asking how to do this stuff.
I am. I'm calling Steven because, like, from
And I'm
one.
like, I don't know. It just worked for me.
Right, and that's what frustrates me is because it seems like everything I try to do, it just doesn't work, man. And I'm like, it can't be this difficult that you just popped in and were like, hey, I'm going to do this and make money.
So jelly.
Yeah.
I'm
listening to you.
salty.
Tony Godwin from Derby Sharks. He told me how to do it, and I did it. And they asked me for my social, and I mean, I'm sure I got to pay taxes on it, but that's about it.
Oh,
I have
don't
made.
bring up taxes. I just got audited for last year. For the stuff I filed last year, they were like, yeah, by the way, you owe us $19,000 and there's a $5,000 fucking fee on top of that. So now I owe $24K.
Whoa.
And that was only for me making $77,000 in 2021. I made like 140 to 160 last year that I have no money saved for. So I'm gonna owe a good like 70.
No, I have seen money start to come though. That's inspiring, right? Like I don't have Reels bonuses, which is where I feel like I could really
Yeah, mine was all
cash in on that.
Right.
That's where.
But through my in-stream ads and everything like that, and my ads on Reels, I have started to see some money come in. And I'm not trying because I'm like, I want my Reel. It's almost like they were like, here, there's more potential to make money over here, but you can't do it.
Right.
And I'm
well,
like,
now they paused the bonuses.
yeah, I'd like, just give me my $400 a month because that would just be, I'm good with that.
Was this recent? Like very recent?
I mean, in the last,
2 months.
40 days, maybe?
So, like I said, Meta's pausing their Reels bonuses for IG and Facebook, and they're trying to incorporate more like ads like they're talking about like that you have. That's what they're pushing now. So really you are actually going to be in a better position than most people right now because you already have access to what they're going to be pushing.
Sure. I just wish you
There
could
you
pick
go.
the product, right? Like if you could, like I need to appeal because I have a very weird group of people that follow me. They're very one thing, and Jason and I have talked, you can't limit yourself to one group, right? Like I need to get, 3,000 of the people that watch you that have a completely different market to be interested in something I'm doing,
Right.
And that's how it really starts to take off. And that's why I try to do, sports things, wrestling things, demolition derby stuff. And just, I mean, even stupid stuff is just being a family guy, just like doing stuff with my kids. And, like, there's a group of people out there that just follow that kind
I
of
threw
stuff.
stuff down the laundry chute at my girlfriend and got like 4 million views.
Just remember, there was a person at one point in time invented silly bands and they're a millionaire.
Yeah.
It doesn't,
It's
it's
incredible.
what people take it to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody that's sitting here, you all set yourself up to, when opportunity presents itself, you are capable and able to, receive and fulfill an opportunity. You know what I mean? You can tell right now, we're a room full of risk takers. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of time,
Facts.
At all.
That's all it is. It's a matter of time. And that's what my friend Camo says to me because he's got the blue check mark. And I try not to be salty about it. And I'm like, you're crushing me, Camo. And you're only 27. And like, hell yeah, buddy. And and he's a graffiti artist. And, so I want to aspire. I understand. So again, let's hold on a second.
Yeah,
So
go
Cash
for it.
on the Hood is art, hustle, and a little demolition derby. So we heard a ton of hustle. Do you have any art experiences? Not to give you a little left turn here, but something for people who might be listening for the art angle.
So I've always been sit down and draw. I love sit down and draw. and I can pretty much recreate almost anything you put in front of me. I've never really been able to get out of my own head to draw from memory and things like that. I've airbrushed. I've done some work on cars and done things. I mean, dude, like when I was like 20, I used to like paint girls' nails and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I used to airbrush girls' nails for them and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool. Just anything you could do to just have that sort of art. But art for me is just stuff that, like, just driving through the city, coming through here, you see so much. Art just makes me think. So art's a huge part of my personality because I think abstractly. So I need abstract art to like really entice me. And I think that's where my art background is in looking at things, like looking at a painting and going, that's completely different than what they meant. Like how I see it, perception, right? So my art background isn't necessarily my skill and my abilities, but it's just more so just taking it in and using that art, you know, through the feelings that it gets me to like take it to the next level.
Well, I mean, I know that you're a theater major at heart, so okay. Right.
Now, when you talk about that type of art,
right,
I am an actor at heart, right?
Right. Well, we all are here too, right? Mm-hmm. Colin, you have any art like you ever?
So I'm terrible at. I can't draw. I cannot paint. I've just never been good at art. I enjoy art. I enjoy looking at art.
There's something you appreciate that you ever thought about? You ever been to an art museum?
I have. So down in Pittsburgh, so like I think most of them, like the Mattress Factory and like the Warhol and stuff, and like stuff like that. Like I love looking at art. I just can't. I'm just not an artist. You know what I mean? But I've had someone tell me this before. Like art comes in a lot of different forms. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Video can be art. I make a lot of videos.
Well, yeah,
content can be art.
You're a filmmaker.
You know, like, so, like, in that aspect, yes. But, like, if you wanted me to draw something, I wouldn't be able to draw it. Right. like, and it wouldn't be like, oh, well, he drew it. It just doesn't look that great. Like, I wouldn't, I can't draw a 3D box. Right. I can draw a stick figure that barely looks like a stick. Like, I'm just, it's not something that I've ever really been good at.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's why we're on this podcast. I just got to ask, like, you know.
But the funny thing is you have 2.7 million people. Like, you could just be like, all right, guys, what do you want me to draw today? Because you're so funny. At drawing.
Right.
Like, and then post would be like, this is what I got out of it. Right. Dude, it could take off.
No, you're right.
You got to do it now.
I'm going to try it.
You got to do it now.
That'd be funny.
Royalties.
Jason, you're going to be proud of me. You're going to be proud of me. Do you know that car that guy airbrushed to look like a cartoon car?
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at it the other day, and I was getting ready to junk it, and I'm like, man, Jason's doing all this cool stuff with the bodies. Like, that fender looks awesome. So I saved the fender, and I started notching it. I'm going to bend it. There's a word boom on it that looks really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to notch, and I'm building a box, and I'm going to make a little stand for in my house out of it, but I'm making something for the first time.
Oh, that's cool. You
that's
can put
awesome.
like trophies on it or something? Is this your trophy stand?
I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I want to do, have you ever seen like when they do those seats that like have the chains that look like it's free floating?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. When they have the chains going both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do that, but have this in the center of it. So just like a seat or a shelf, but have this art piece floating in them chains.
That's cool.
See?
I have that's so cool because,
awesome.
I mean, do you think you had ever thought about that before you met Jason?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, that's so cool is that when we sit in a room like this and talk, we get ideas from each other.
Almost everything I've learned art-wise is from Jason teaching me in our road trips.
Well, because you make art out of anything. Like you just said, like anything can be art.
Yeah.
Jason has a very extensive art, like actual education.
Right.
So like,
Right.
he teaches me stuff that I don't remember for the most part, but I appreciate it as I'm trying to.
Right.
Thanks, buddy.
The next thing that I want to do is because we also own an apparel company.
Okay.
So we sell apparel for our demolition derbies, and we're actually getting ready to drop another apparel line called 413 Apparel. So that's going to be based off of my faith and everything like that.
Okay.
Philippians 4:13. We're going to drop that here coming out soon to where we combine our faith with trying to be fun because we want to teach people that it's actually kind of badass to be a Christian.
Okay.
And we're kind of going to go down that road with that and try to incorporate some of the cool thoughts into that. But one of my next projects that I want to do, and it's going to be with you, Okay, so you're hearing this for the first time.
It's always
Sketch art on a car. I want my next car to be done like a sketch pad, black and white shading.
Yeah.
That's the look I want. I really want to see what that looks like because I feel like, sketching is where ideas come from. Mm-hmm. And when we build a car from the ground up, that's a sketch that we're putting together and a piece to go to give that final piece of artwork. So I want the paint to represent that as well.
You're always thinking about the presentation. I love it. You know what I mean? You're a natural born promoter.
We'll see.
Right?
See if it works out.
Give it a couple more years.
Maybe.
Yeah, so I was thinking, okay, if we could bring Colin for Buried Alive, put him in the most wanted class. Like, that'd be pretty rad, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you have a Halloween weekend open.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
That'd be super.
The further out I know, the easier it is to mark it down and know that, you know what I mean? Because that's the only time anything ever comes up is when things overlap because I forget something. But if I know, like,
yeah.
we're good to go.
I will promise you one thing. I cannot promise you so many different things, but I can tell you right now I'm going to entertain you at some point in the weekend.
For sure.
At some point in the weekend, you're going to go to that. Last year, we turned something that was supposed to be just kind of simple into someone almost dying on our track, flying 20 feet in the air over top of a van, having to be cut out of a car. They want to airlift the guy out. I mean, we started Monster Jam freestyle with derby cars last year, and it just escalated very quickly.
It did. I thought I was going to die. Thank you.
Yeah, it almost went through.
You sent a car at me.
I still wish I had that view from but
because I could only hear it coming. So here's what he did. Just overstep you real quick. He set up the scenario where these cars were jumping over a van, but every participant was amping it up for the crowd. So I was on the other side. I was on the mic with Track Shot Live, and like the first car barely missed the van. It clipped and flipped towards us as if it was one more flip. It would have been in the studio with us. Oh. And I was like, oh shit. And so from my point of view, the van is obstructing it, but I can hear the next participant coming, and they're gained more speed you can hear from the person before you. And I'm like, oh shit.
Right. And they kept backing up further and further to get a longer run. And what Jason's trying to depict is look out in front of you. All you see is a van. Right. On the other side of that van is a jump.
Right.
He's coming towards us.
And he saw it come right up over the van like they're coming right in his lap.
If there wasn't a wall of dirt of the edge of the stadium, right through us. Right. It would have been. It was. So I locked eyes with this dude. I'm watching a dude like sacrificing himself for the show. He's 25 feet in the air, his eyes in his helmet, and he's coming down towards me, and I'm looking up at him like, oh, man.
But to tie it in with the wrestling and entertainment value, that guy, like, we wrote it off like he's at the hospital, he's done, he's not coming back. Like, there's definitely something wrong with him, whether it's from this or before, there's something wrong with him. But we're in the stands, and you see a guy with a mask approach TJ. And here the dude had a wrestling mask on. That guy, after he got checked and cleared from the hospital, came back, and they did a little skit for the crowd. And
just off the cuff.
Nice.
He's like, I'm back. And I'm like, listen, like I've got a Fiend mask in the truck. I got the whole outfit. Go put the outfit on, pop back in. And when you unveil that mask, people are going to go nuts. Right. They're going to go, and they did. Oh, man. It was like, because that's a guy that a moment can make you. He went from like 300 Facebook friends to like he's maxed out like in one night. Right. Oh, it was like bam, just made him. But no, we will entertain you. I guarantee you will see something you've never seen before. And I've already put it out there. You know, financials are financials, man. We don't know where we're going to be in a year. This economy, it's all terrible. Right. This will either be the show that sets me completely out there for life, or this will be our last one. Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to light it up.
Yeah, well, we'll be there to support you and do. You don't have to jump a car, buddy. No,
I'm down for whatever though. Listen. That's one thing I tell everybody.
If you watch the video of that guy, you'd be like, I ain't doing that.
I'll stay in the most wanted class.
People always ask me like, oh, you want to go do this and you want to do that? I'm like, I don't care. And they're like, you never want to choose. No, it's not that. It's that I'm down for whatever. Like I don't Carrie, you want to go rob the store in the corner? I'm with it. Like, let's. No,
No, not again.
not anymore. Not anymore. No more robberies.
That's just a rap.
No robbing kids.
That's a rap metaphor.
I stole something one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, and I made my wife an accomplice. It's so petty and so stupid. We were at Applebee's and we were just hammered, and I was like, I want that cardboard cutout of the world's most interesting man. I want it in my house, and I convinced my wife, of all people, who is just as straightforward as it gets, not risking anything. I convinced her to walk out the door with it, and we walked out the door with it.
Nice.
And never
Still
said
have it?
anything?
No, we got rid of it because we got nervous. We got nervous like we were going to get caught. We were going to get arrested for stealing a cardboard cutout. I was like, rookie.
You had already taken
That's
it.
funny.
You might as well kept it.
Yeah, but you can't have the evidence at your house, right? She's worried. She's like, they're going to find out. They're going to go back to the cameras. They're going to see us. And I'm like, I think we're okay.
That's funny.
And the camera shot is probably worth it all, though.
Oh, God.
You're
for
trying to-
sure.
Trying to, what is it, underneath your jacket and trying
We just picked it right up, walking. It's a full life-size cutout, and just walked right out with it. And, and I looked there at Longhorn, maybe 3 months ago. We were up here in Pittsburgh at Longhorn, and I looked up and I was like, "That's a really cool cowboy hat." And she's like, "No." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "We're not going back down that road. Not going back to our thieving ways, TJ."
Oh, that's
I would
great.
not survive
That's
on
great.
the inside.
I want to jump in here about some Colin's accomplishments as a baseball coach.
Thank you.
Can you help us out? Tell me about that.
So last year was my first year. Super, super dope group of kids. Some all right parents. But no, I'm kidding. But last year was a lot of fun. So my nephew's on the team, and he's a stud in all the sports that he plays. Like the kid's good. He turned 12 at the end of All-Stars. He batted .700 last year. He hit 4 home runs in regular season, 8 in All-Stars against better competition, 30-something RBIs in regular season, 30-something, and had averaged almost 2 strikeouts per inning pitched. Like, kid was good. Really good. Mm-hmm. And we, went to the playoffs. We lost. We had a pretty young team. We went through all-star tournaments and stuff. I didn't coach for all-stars, but it was just a really good time. Now, obviously, I've been to prison, so becoming a coach was something that I didn't even realize would be a possibility, having a felony on my record. But it's a lot more inclusive than people realize. So basically, as long as you don't have a crime against kids or a sex crime, there's not a crime that's going to withhold you from coaching. But a lot of times for Little League, it's based off volunteers. So say they need 3 coaches. We're 4 parents. I have a felony. They only need 3 coaches. They're going to choose the 3 that don't have it. Mm-hmm. Because it's just the way they do it. Mm-hmm. So because they didn't have that many people last year, the head coach that was leaving, who I knew, was like, hey, I want you to coach. So I did. And we led the league in steals. We had, hold on. This was about. So this was a running joke. This was a running joke all season. Was that I used to be a thief? So I'm like, yo, these my band of this is my little team of bandits. We go and get it. They stole in 18 games. They stole I think 168 bases. Which if you know anything about baseball, it's a lot of bases per game. It's 9-10 a game every game. I have so videos of me with the GoPro just literally sitting here on coaching first base. Now. Go. Why didn't you go now?
I'll cover for you. Go.
It was a great experience. It was a great experience.
Coaching is extremely rewarding.
That was 11-12, Little League.
Oh.
I mean, you've really gained a lot of respect in your community for it. That's a profile that I wouldn't have seen, or a career change, or however. You're raising money for uniforms, and so I see you out there just getting it,
right?
And so I respect that hustle, getting it. I love that. I love community service. You guys know this, so you're out here proving it. So I got to give you as many props as I can. You know, I love
Thank
that
you.
shit, dude. That's super cool. And like, so you let me pull up on one time you were coaching. You're like, yo, I'm coaching or whatever inning.
Yeah.
Just come through and just hang out in the parking lot. We were just coming through. So I roll through his town whenever I go to Decker's shows. So I go to Decker's shows twice a year. So twice a year I roll through town. And like, so I get either the come or the go, you know, however we. So I was on my way back and he was coaching. So I got to see him in action. And your players just love you. And I don't think they see you as like perhaps we see you. Like,
Right.
you know, they see you as like, you know, this really rad dude who's taking time out of his day and making sure that we're cool. You know?
Right.
That's super rad.
I think it's awesome because I'm a coach. I coach soccer, and I know the type of influence that you can have on kids.
Yeah.
And this generation's really rough, right?
Yep.
It's really rough. And you have so much life, like history, that you can mold from within what you have to teach them either not to how to go down that path, how to
Right.
avoid that kind of thing, to stay out of this trouble, to even like I'm sure with your knowledge and where you were in life, you can probably almost see like, you know, tendencies. That like, okay, this kid's going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
You might be able to stop that kid's path now just by coaching baseball, because when I coach, I don't coach soccer. I coach life
Right.
through soccer.
As it
you
should.
know? And it's like you have such a good opportunity for doing that. And I would have hated that somebody would have taken that opportunity away from you because of your past.
Right.
Because, you know, like I was talking about being a Christian, like, you know, when you give your life to Christ, you become a new creation in Christ. You're a completely different human being. God doesn't look upon your old sins. You know what I mean? So, like, you're out there being this version of you, not
Right.
the old version of you. Now, if you were out there doing the old version, like, yeah, let's steal a couple bases, now I'm going to go over here and steal a couple C4 energy drinks from the local market.
Right, no doubt.
You know, if you're going to, you know, do something like that, that's a whole different story. But if you're living right and you're teaching right, I mean, dude, props to you for that, man.
That's my thing. Is like, you can judge me off of my past, but for what? Like, judge me off who I am. Like, judge me off my character. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm a cool dude. I'm nice to fucking everybody. You know what I mean? The only people that have something bad to say about me are people that have never met me, will never meet me, will never show their face on the internet. Point blank, period. Anybody. I get comments all the time from people. Like, when people are making videos like that, people like, bro, I met Colin at Walmart. He's the most genuine person. Like, it's not like a random occurrence. It's everybody says the same shit. Damn, you're really exactly the same. Like, you're just a cool dude. Like,
I didn't like Steven when I first met Steven.
really?
One of my first opportunities to meet Steven, I seen him at. Listen, no, I'm just straight up. I'm a real guy. I'm not gonna hide it.
Always like TJ, this sucks.
His heart's broken now. But like, I don't need Steven's 11,000 followers to get in a beef with me. Please don't do that. But
But if they want to follow him, he's taking followers.
exactly. Poaching all day long. But like the first time I met Steven, I approached him in a very awkward situation to talk to him about something at Bash for Cash, and he didn't know who I was really, and like I had like a
You just learned about who you really are in like the past year.
I completely and that's fine. But like my first thing is like I don't know who this guy is, and I judged him at face value instead of, you know, getting to know who Steven is. And now I value his friendship. I truly do.
I don't even
like
remember
who he
you
is.
approaching me at Bash.
Mm-hmm. Well, I actually approached you because of your last name is Sickles, and I was big into like, you know, art and stuff like that. So I said it would be a really cool idea if you made a sickle on your wheel, like put the thing up, the staff of it up through the wheel, and then a sickle, so that when you were driving forward, the sickles would go like this. And I'm like, Steven Sickles. I was like, this is a bad idea. This is really cool. And I was like, and just not even the time of day. And I'm like, man, I really wanted him to like me, you know, and you know, but no, he's such a good dude. But my whole point of that is that like in face value, if that would have been my own experience and never wanted to talk to him again, like that's how I would have remembered Steven. But I didn't. Like I took the time to know Steven's, like all of his quirks, all of his good, all of his bad, to get to really know who he is as a person. And I love the guy. And I actually go to battle for him when some people would be like, oh, I don't like him. He's cocky. He's arrogant. I'm like, no, it's not that. It's this. And I try to teach those people, like, give the guy a chance to listen to him and understand him.
At a demolition derby, there's a lot of times that I'm super, super busy. And I mean, I'm sure you've seen that now that you got into promoting.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's been for me for years because I was a core buyer at these shows and I was trying to run too. You see these vendors at derbies and you go talk to a vendor and they're like, well, we don't run because we vent.
Yeah.
I'm the dumb one that tries to do it all still.
Right.
Non-stop.
Yeah, nonstop, sometimes 2-3 cars a show. I mean,
because that's you're the champ, buddy.
yeah, but I
Right?
do it to the point where I'm so busy sometimes that I do neglect some basic functions and it sucks.
Right.
Yeah, Colin, you're sitting next to like literally one of the best wheelmen in the
I know, that's
the
crazy.
country.
I don't
And then
know about
also
that.
Steven's here too. So that's no, seriously.
Definitely don't know about that.
The dude can wheel anything, and he is a national champion. He's nationally recognized in that.
If you ever want to make some money on the side, you can drive a car for
Wheelman.
me.
Getaway car.
Be a wheelman for sure.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so these guys are talking, when they say the word bash, it's a giant show that happens in Ohio where
Okay.
it's over
Memorial Day weekend.
And you don't maybe not know this, but Demolition Derby has enough core followers that they show up in RVs and they stay the whole
Really?
weekend. They bring their cars, they bring their tents.
That's awesome.
They bring
500 to 700 cars.
yeah, they
Damn.
bring
Yeah, every year,
everyone brings 700 cases.
500 to 700 campers
I'm talking
too.
about.
No,
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
In addition,
Oh,
to,
it's hard to even get campers if you
So
don't
it's
own a
It's
camper.
like its own little town, city, and so that's what they're saying.
Okay.
So he's trying to describe that, he was super busy at the biggest show of the year.
Yeah, you show up at a Thursday and you're nonstop doing stuff till you leave
exhausting.
Monday morning.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you need a day or two to recover.
we got to get you on the wall because to go and watch a derby from the stands is one thing, but to stand 3 feet away from a car,
Right.
to feel the ground shake when they hit is, dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm telling
down,
you, you got to
man,
come
for
stand on the
real.
wall one time and just feel it.
I'm
man.
down.
Just feel it.
Right.
That's
I
so
love it.
cool.
Stonebarrow is my favorite place for that.
Standing on stage,
Oh, my.
standing on that stage.
Yeah,
when-
right on the edge of that stage or right in front of the announcer's booth with that with the privacy fence behind you that
Yep.
when they hit that barrier, that privacy fence is swinging back and forth at you.
You can
It's
feel
wild.
it.
That's the one you're running in September 3rd. is the
Okay.
weekend.
Bet.
So that one's at a fair. A lot of these derbies you've been at is a standalone derbies.
Right.
So we started you at like the highest level, which is
Okay.
like, these where there's no county fair.
Right.
But
Stonebarrow, there
Stonebarrow
won't be
has-
room there. That place is packed.
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll bring you there and show you off.
Hell yeah.
People love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down.
So yeah, we got the most.
I let
wanted
people
class.
know I'm coming. More people leave. More people show.
No, it's gonna be great because we got Track Shot Live coming, Frizzy's coming, all the reality shows are coming. There's gonna be so many freaking cameras in Stoneboro, so
It's awesome.
you want to make sure you're there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's
And then then we'll be coming to Buried Alive. It's gonna be rad.
I'll make sure I'm in front of the cameras.
Nice. Well, Steven, before we sign off here, thank you for building so many derby cars for the team. Swear to God,
We
Steven
try.
was the first Most Wanted Car Club founder, and he makes it possible for us to derby from the inner city because we don't have garages, we don't have welders, and he makes it happen for us in Uniontown. So salute, Steven. Right? Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Yeah, you're like, stop saying nice things. That's I try to build
I don't
you
know
up
what to
here.
do with my hands. What are we doing here?
So thankful. So thank you, Colin, for making the drive in.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you guys so much. TJ, I'm glad that this worked out. This is
Yeah,
a
it's
nice
cool.
organic podcast. Brian Cottington behind the decks back there of the Cinema Psycho Show has been agreeing that this has been a stellar run of podcasts this morning. I started in Philadelphia. I
I
drove
believe
here
this
to
is the
night.
most organic episodes we've had. You had no plan, really.
I didn't. I normally come in with a sheet and we're
Right.
going to
At least
these
like
questions.
2 subjects or something. Like
I've been holding back on that numbers one forever because I was like, it never, I had enough questions, but I was like, let's see what happens, because you run through scenarios in your head like,
what was
all right,
22? Kutch?
McCutcheon, thank you.
Kutchin?
He's back.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Like,
Yep.
yeah.
Did they say that? Is he gonna rep 22 again, or
I think in his promo photo he was wearing it,
okay?
but maybe in
I don't wanna have to
maybe
buy
he was just
another
wearing
jersey.
a pirate.
I doubt it. No, he'll probably keep it. He'll
Oh,
probably keep it.
salute Kutch. He is help supports 412 Food Rescue, with And so that program has been running here in the city as a nonprofit since he was here at the beginning. And that's one of the great programs he left before he left the city. He wanted to stay here in the city, like, for real, you know. So he helped create these nonprofits. Much like Troy Polamalu is part of Phipps Conservatory.
Yeah.
McCutcheon is a part of 412 Food Rescue, which is, you know, creating and, you know, all this where there's food deserts in the city. So he's instrumental in that. So I, as a community service nonprofit like guy who loves that type of stuff, is happy that McCutcheon is back.
Right.
And I hope he retires here. I hope they hang his 22. I wish they would put a roster around him. Just let him have one chance at one playoff game in Pittsburgh, please.
Right.
So one thing we didn't mention, and I wanted to just say real quick and pay some respects. We lost one of our good friends, Bobby, in the past couple of weeks. We didn't get to have him on Cash on the Hood. We didn't get to have him on Revved Up Garage Cast. Would have been a nice thing to have. He would have been a good character. Good.
Yeah, salute Bobby.
Definitely a
Thanks.
nice voice that's going to be missed.
Sorry for your guys' loss.
So
Thank you, Steven.
Appreciate it, man.
quick moment for Bobby. Okay, Jason, take it home.
All right, hey, Cash on the Hood. I love you guys. Like, seriously, you guys had a great show here. So I gotta give the standard shout outs. TJ and Colin, you guys were fantastic guests. Thank you so much. Steven, Revved Up Garage Cast. Please listen. Steven and I are neck and neck in numbers.
Yeah,
Who
we're
knew?
like within 100 downloads. I mean, it's that close.
Yeah, we're doing great. So, and
We need to get to 100,000, one of us, so the other one can pay for the Christmas party.
that's the goal. Whoever gets 100,000 downloads has to pay for the Christmas party.
Yeah.
So I hope it's you, Steven. It's going to be a hell of a party.
Let's do it.
All right, Brian Cottington behind the decks running the. So what he does is he live edits everything. All right, so you don't know this, but when you see it on YouTube, Brian has a 2-second delay, and he's attentive and pushes the buttons. That way you have a nice edited cut that we make here at Studio Me. So check out Brian. His numbers are fantastic. They're about 3 million more than us. So his Cinema Psychos with his 262 shows is absolutely wonderful. So salute Brian Cottington. Thank you guys. Cash on the Hood. Please like, share, subscribe. Pretty soon we're going to have Shoke in his 16 is going to be taking us out. That's happening in July.